Hey guys, Tim and Adam here, and we want to welcome you back to Flipperflix. You guys know how much Tim loves his foods, and he got to try a new one recently called 3 Wishes.
Yup. Breakfast being my favorite meal, I was excited to try this new cereal out. It's high in protein, low in sugar, and grain-free.
I thought I saw that 3 Wishes is free from wheat, dairy, soy, oats, corn, rice, and peanuts.
That's right. It's plant-based and gluten-free certified, made with modern-day clean ingredients like chickpeas, pea protein, and tapioca.
Well, that sounds like a feat of food science.
One that took 2 years to develop.
Incredible! So what flavor of these 3 Wishes did you devour, Tim? I saw they had cocoa, cinnamon, honey, and unsweetened.
I went with cocoa, and it was delicious.
With 70% less sugar and as much as 8 times the protein of their decadent counterparts, there can't be anything like this on the shelf right now.
And there isn't. 3 Wishes is now offering our listeners 10% off with the code PODCAST10.
So head to their website at www.3wishescereal.com to learn more.
We hope you enjoy this episode.
Flipperflix, where we unleash the madness.
She did it.
Nailed it.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Sam.
I'm
Did you
Sam.
know that's her name?
I don't know if I said that.
Sam, what do we do?
It's Sam, yeah. What do we do here?
What is it that you do here?
What do you do here?
Somebody's gotta.
Is it social media's turn?
Do this.
Yeah, it's social media.
That would be me, and I'm Tim. I'm gonna get my name out.
Howdy, Tim.
Howdy, partner. Did not watch
Howdy,
a Western,
howdy.
so,
I'm Adam.
Yeah. As you may know, or not know, but if you're looking for us, we are on the social medias, more specifically Instagram and Twitter, mostly. We don't operate outside of much else. You can find us on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, select few others, podcast platforms. What are you giggling at?
I don't know.
I don't know why. And then she muted it for half a second.
I was like, why are you giggling?
I don't know.
I'm just going down my list here.
It's one of those
have
days.
A website as well. Okay.
Oh, snap.
It's flipperflix.wixsite.com/home. You do need the /home or you will not find it. We post episodes every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're all about the podcasting of the movies and the reviews, and we give you little snippets here and there on Twitter and Instagram about what's going on, little memes sometimes, little pieces, little clips from our episodes, so go check that stuff out, and we give hints and then drop what we watched for the week, and then you can watch along with us. I know she is. Don't just keep going.
Hey, wait, Tim, I have a real quick question. What is our name?
I said her name.
Did he?
I think so.
Okay.
Well, I said it definitely.
Yeah,
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Somebody said
I'm just
Flipperflix.
Hey, there we go.
I definitely said it in the website.
Yeah.
I know.
There's at least one mention of it.
Yeah. I guess I'll pass the torch to Adam.
Hello, my name is Adam, and we are here to discuss this film in a very serious manner.
Why are you doing that?
Why am I doing what? This is my normal speaking voice. For first comers, I always talk like this. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, so today we are discussing Malang, Unleash the Madness. Mm-hmm. As you may have gathered from Samantha's intro. This movie we got because we landed on Branching Out. And I selected it because I've wanted to see a Bollywood film for a long time. I don't actually know how long, but...
I mean, have you just, not ever seen one, or...?
Correct. I haven't purposely sat down and watched a Bollywood film.
You've unpurposefully sat down? Accidentally?
Yeah,
I'm stumbled upon a Bollywood film?
That's what I'm saying. If I've watched one, it was on accident,
okay,
and I didn't realize it.
Okay.
But this one I know is Bollywood, and
right.
I watched it.
On purpose.
On purpose.
With the purpose of watching a Bollywood film.
Yes. And this one is about, are you ready for the synopsis? Mm-hmm. Paper... Ready. A Dwight, which we just learned how to say, visits Goa, where he meets Sarah, a free-spirited girl who lives life unshackled. Opposites attract, and all goes well until life turns upside down. Years later, a Dwight is on a killing spree with cops Agashi? What did we decide on?
Gashi!
I forgot.
Agashi. And Michael, In the Way.
Wait, where did we watch this?
We
Did we
watched
say
this
that?
on Netflix.
Okay.
I had not said that. Thank
Gotta
you,
make
dear.
sure we cover our bases here.
Yeah. And so let's get some started with some expectations. We'll start with Tim.
Yeah, I have definitely seen Bollywood films before.
Oh, you have?
Oh, yeah. One more specifically, Doom, and it is spelled Doom, but it has nothing to do with what you would think of, like,
Doom.
the American Doom, like, game or anything. And it's kind of
It's
like...
not the one with Dwayne Johnson.
I have no idea.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No, definitely not.
Okay.
But it's like, I mean, it's kind of like this movie. It's action, they sing a lot, that kind of stuff. That's how Bollywood kind of does. Like, there's usually those moments where it's almost like a music video and you're not really sure what's going on. But it's, Bollywood's known for having really over-the-top sort of action movies, or any action or whatever. They're always, like, super over-the-top. So I was ready for that. Definitely expecting that in the musical. And the music's usually pretty good to me. I kind of enjoy it. Like, there's parts where you're like, what? But for the most part, I enjoy it. So I will say I was looking forward to it because I do enjoy Bollywood films for what they are. They're definitely not my type, but I respect what they are. And it is funny at times. I don't know, kind of ridiculous and makes you roll your eyes. But I don't know, enjoy it. So I was ready for it.
Nice.
The long expectation.
Nice. Who wants to go next? You. You, dear.
So I was excited because I too have not seen a Bollywood film, and I was like, with the name like Unleash the Madness,
Right?
I'm ready for it. Like, not only was I excited for the Bollywood dance numbers and the music and the craziness, but then Unleash the Madness like is gonna be great. And I actually did not watch a trailer before this one.
Nice.
And I was glad that I didn't, because that might have depressed me and not made me want to watch it. So anywho, Adam, what about you?
Well,
You picked it.
I picked it, yeah. I watched the trailer for it. And I'm going to just say the trailer is weird.
Okay.
It doesn't really match the movie, but going off of that, I was like, all right, we're going to watch this ridiculous thing. I'm excited. It is a romance action thriller, is what it's considered.
Yep.
Nice.
I'm not really sure I've seen that combination before, that I can be like, yes, that's definitely what it is.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting little tidbit there. But yeah, I was excited because Bollywood, everybody talks about the ridiculousness. I forgot to look up which one it was where there's a film where a guy gets on a palm tree.
Yeah.
They all pull it back
Yeah.
and he launches himself over the enemy's fortress.
It's a pretty
And
large meme, yeah.
I've always wanted to see that one. But
That's an
time.
older one.
next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this one came out in 2020.
Oh, it's fresh.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fresh off
I didn't even
fresh
know
off the
that.
fight.
Nice.
Fresh for the fight. You know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I was excited and I'm ready to get into it.
Okay.
We're going to talk about
Well.
lots of spoilers
Yes, lots
Yes.
of spoilers, 2020.
and we're going to start with the dude's face in the intro.
Dude's face in the intro. Why don't
Oh, yes.
There was like in the intro where it's your favorite credits scenes.
Oh, God.
There's a dude's face there. And then it just disappeared. Like it was a production company maybe?
Yeah,
I'm not-
like normally where you would see the production company logo, it was just like a dude chilling with like the name of the production
Yeah.
company
maybe
or
yeah.
his name.
It's
Yeah.
weird. I don't
It was-
remember that.
It was just very jarring. You're like, logo, dude's face.
I
Logo,
must
logo.
have repressed that or something.
Yeah, it was odd and I was like, this is starting great.
Oh, what's happening?
I'm already
So good.
pumped.
And then we should jump right into jail.
Yeah.
Dude is
Yep,
doing
immediately.
pull-ups, ripped as fuck,
Uh-huh.
and you can see this bigger guy because obviously he's the boss.
Yeah.
This always cracks me up though. This was classic to me, and it cracked me up. It always shows like the dude that's the hero, right? He's doing his workout and shit.
Yeah,
And then the bad guy looks like a fucking piece of blubber. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
like, how is that the bad guy? Like nowadays it's a little
Yeah.
different, especially in American films. But like the bad guy's usually big, buff, whatnot. Not just some dude that's let himself go. I don't know. Like
yeah.
that's how I
he's
felt.
seen better
the Jack
days.
dude would not only be able to run circles around the other guy, but like later on when he punches him in the face, Bollywood still, but if you hit somebody at pretty much full strength in the face and they don't
Yeah,
react, you probably just want to walk away at that point. You might want to give up. But
Yeah, I'm
True.
good.
I'm just gonna, a lot of movies have like the bad guy is like this big ogre looking dude, and then the hero's jacked, and you're like, yeah, I wonder who's gonna win this.
Jacked, charming
Right.
looking,
Like, yeah.
with this really nice haircut in jail, and you're like, I didn't know
Yeah.
they gave this type of haircuts in jail.
Well, I wasn't sure if we were in jail or if we were doing like a Fight Club situation.
Right, yeah.
'cause this scene was
Kinda
like,
felt like it.
20 minutes long of him just
Oh, yeah,
like
just-
fighting random people.
Yeah,
Like, obviously we were in jail, but I was like, I don't know what's happening. Like, what a way to start a movie.
and like it seemed like the big boss dude had his bracelet
Yeah.
for days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like a first
Well,
time he gets to go try and get his bracelet back.
True.
yeah, they kind of like cover that later on in the movie, and he
Yeah.
definitely like it was supposed to be kind of like montagey, like he got stronger and whatnot.
Oh, I know. He Uncle Iroh'd, but you've
Yeah.
not seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, so that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah.
He's like punching people through walls and shit.
Yeah, so
They're
there you
hitting him
go,
with
Bollywood.
chairs. I know. I was like,
So-
okay, so when did he become a superhuman?
Right. So that's the Bollywood of it, absolutely. And there's other, I want to say countries, I guess, that have like that sort of style. Like one that comes to mind is Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. But there's certain movies that are specifically supposed to be a little over the top intentionally, whereas like Bollywood seems like they're always over the top, doesn't matter what it is. I mean, I can't say I've seen a ton of them, but I will say this one is a little bit better from what I remember. Like at first it started out he was going and I was like, oh, okay, they toned it down, and then he punches a dude through a wall and I'm like, all right, it's about the same. So,
It's like it's
same.
only one. It's only like him and like a couple other guys
Yeah.
that are just weirdly superhuman.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. Like, I also want to comment on the fact he puts a shirt on to walk outside of his jail cell. Mm-hmm. And then he's walking down. He eventually rips his shirt
Well, it gets
off
torn.
to unleash the madness.
Exactly.
He does that because the front gets torn off.
I know.
Yeah.
The symbol.
Because at first I thought the same thing. I was like,
Why would you bother putting a shirt on?
yeah, why did you even bother?
And then they had the wet t-shirt contest because obviously it was going to rain.
Yeah, well, you had to get all the cool special effects of like the water
know.
and the faces in the mud.
Right?
Yeah, that was crazy.
And then finally he gets his bracelet back and he has a euphoric experience putting on this bracelet.
Is that the first like long ass flashback that we see?
No, this isn't even.
They
this
started out
is-
small though.
Oh yeah, no. The flashbacks were ridiculous.
They were, yeah.
They were like 15-minute flashbacks.
Well, like I liked the flashbacks because it obviously showed us the other part of the story. But I feel like for some of them, I was sitting there like, wait a minute, what movie am I watching? Because this
Yeah.
flashback has been happening for like 45 minutes.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Like,
No, I
it was,
definitely
like,
had that
two
issue
separate
too.
movies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, for
because-
sure.
We start with Dwight, and then we go to Agashi or
Yeah,
Gashe,
with
and
his
Shubu
mad,
Shubu Shubu.
yeah, his mad karaoke
Shuba,
skills.
shuba, shuba. I was like, I hope this guy doesn't actually sing for a living, because
No. He's hanging out with this Tony dude, and then he's just like, and you're dead.
yeah. And it definitely puts off that he's supposed to be like a hardcore bad guy at the beginning.
Yeah,
And like it's kind of like he went insane throughout the movie, and that's why he became the way he is. Which he still like became a bad guy, I guess. But it was just like at the beginning, you're just like, yeah, that guy's just a straight up bad dude.
Yeah, I know.
And then you
And then
learn
he
about
puts
the
his
past,
uniform.
and you're like, he just went fucking nuts.
Yeah, he puts on his uniform, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
alrighty then.
yeah,
Because you see the other officer run in, and it's like, oh, well, he's in trouble. Oh, he's not.
yeah, exactly.
yeah, and he said something like, "Oh, plant the gun on him that we found, like
Yeah.
whatever, doing whatever."
They say it
So
was a raid.
Yeah, he definitely like sets it up to be the big baddie of the movie. But like one of the things that kept distracting me from him was like his laugh, how he'd like toss his head back and forth and be like, ha 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 ha. I like didn't get it. I was so confused. It was just like a little too over the top
Yeah,
for
it's
me.
a little
I liked him a lot.
I liked his red glasses.
Right?
Further
Yeah.
on. Those are a fashion statement.
That was the director's choice. He was like, you gotta get these red glasses, bruh.
And then like he does something intense and he like takes his glasses off.
He's like NCISing it.
Yeah, and then he puts them back
Puts
on.
them back
and
on,
then
yeah.
another thing for emphasis that they did at the beginning is like whenever somebody said something hardcore, like sad or important, they'd be like, "Bwom."
Well-
And I was like, what the fuck? Like, he just said, it's Tuesday. Bwom. That's how I
That's
felt.
also the thing about like Bollywood movies that I noticed is the music is always intense. There's no break in it ever. Like no matter what's going
Right?
on, the music is always super intense, like you're saying, and
Yeah.
it's just like I guess that's part of the over the top thing, but it drives me nuts because I feel like it jacks me up the whole time, and I'm like, I need a little break from this, y'all.
Yeah!
So-
like they'll just be talking. It's like like all they did was like hand a piece of paper to somebody.
So-
Like, hold
Normally
on.
a movie is like kind of a roller
Yeah.
coaster.
Yeah.
There's some tension build
Right,
up,
yeah.
and then
Some break.
you go
in the-
down.
Yeah.
you go up and down. You're going up and down. No. This is just like a nice, just downward thrust the whole time, because the music doesn't let you slow down.
Yeah. Not at all.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved that part.
You love it. It's just
Because
a
it keeps
different
me into the
atmosphere.
movie. It keeps me like,
Does it?
I don't-
It breaks me away pretty quickly.
oh,
Especially when they're just standing there and the music is just super intense, and it's like, is there not like a quiet moment in this movie that I can
yeah.
come down off of? Like, but,
The one thing that originally brought me out of the movie was they're celebrating Christmas.
Yeah.
And I was
Right.
like, what the fuck? And then Goa fact, real quick. Goa until 1961 was part of Portugal.
Oh.
A very Catholic country. So 95% of Goa is either Hindi or Christian. So Christmas is actually a very big thing there.
That's why they were talking about like the Portuguese Catholics happy
Yup.
solstice thing.
Yeah.
That makes a lot more sense.
well, they
And
said
Michael's
it's
last name
it's
is
a
Rodriguez.
rare subsect or whatever that like does say happy solstice instead of like Merry Christmas,
Yeah.
I guess. And
Yeah.
that was
It's
a
like the
big
ones
thing.
that kept their Portuguese roots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Happy
interesting. I didn't think
solstice.
that was a thing, but
Yeah, same.
Oh, I didn't either. And I was just like so confused because what? This isn't something. This is India. This isn't like America. This isn't Europe.
Yeah.
So when I saw Christmas, I was like, I don't believe you.
right, yeah.
So I went and dug very deep.
I was definitely shocked at it, but you know.
To be fair, they celebrated Christmas by murdering people. Not they. This one guy. So
Yeah.
I don't know how much they really celebrate Christmas. I'm
That's
just
true.
kidding.
That's true.
They clearly had like a family dinner at Michael and Teresa. Was that his wife's
That
name?
was. Look at you.
Yeah.
Well, Teresa's mom had a great quote though.
Did she?
She said she was talking about somebody, and her quote was, "All thanks to that magician of a gynecologist."
Oh, I remember
And
that.
I was like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Yeah.
that's like woo!"
Yeah.
And then Agasha loves a challenge. It's another good quote that I.
Nice.
Sorry, those kind of like backed up to each other in my notes, even though they don't make any sense together. They're not together.
Yeah. Probably not.
Yeah, Michael though, he is very, very.
I hate
don't
him.
know. Scratch it. You hated him?
Absolutely.
Ah,
Every bit
I
of
was
that
gonna-
man.
I was gonna say I hated him too, but I think kind of going back to what we said earlier, they do a really good job of in the beginning making you feel bad for him.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you do.
Like
yeah.
you don't know that he's gonna be
a
like
psycho? 'Cause
yeah.
he's a fucking
I was
psycho.
trying to figure
Killer.
out how to say it.
Keska Sek.
But like that was one of the things that I really liked about this movie was that like they build him up to be like the
He was the
opposite,
stoic.
Yeah.
of Agashi and like the good one and the one that you're supposed to trust, and then
Yeah.
they just freaking murder you
And then he's
later
fucking
on in
psycho.
the murder in the movie. Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah.
That was.
But I
I
like-
hated him. Yeah.
I was gonna say I liked that they did that to me.
Yeah,
though.
they did a good job.
Yeah,
with
no,
it,
they
I
did.
thought.
They did.
And like, there were twists in this movie. I wasn't expecting twists.
I wasn't
Same.
either. Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch an action romance.
Which already you're like, lol.
Yeah, I'm already like, this isn't a thing.
Well,
but
and
okay.
I also say because I was like a little unprepared for that because you were saying like before we watched it, it was kind of the John Wick or whatever, and I
That's
felt
what it
like-
seemed like.
I felt like it wasn't John Wick as much as it was Punisher.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I could see that.
Yeah, it was more of a Punisher vibe to me right off the bat with the revenge and stuff like that, and not as like John Wicky because John Wick's more of like precise and whatnot, whereas Punisher's just brutal, and that's what it felt like to me. It was just brutality over and over.
Yeah, I could see that. I only said John Wick because this guy's murdering like 30
Right,
people.
yeah. Yeah.
The sheer amount of bodies.
Yeah. Was insane.
Oh,
and, he killed that first cop guy by like hanging him by his feet, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't die that way.
No, I know.
Yeah. So their first flashback,
Yes.
he's like they're like meeting and like going like he's on his way to like the concert, right, or whatever you want to call it, the rave.
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny because he goes there and he's like super in the zone, he's into it, he's doing all this stuff with people, he's smoking whatever, and then like he bumps into her? Is it at the first one he bumps into her or the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
The
the
first
first one
one
gets broken up. But as soon right after he bumps into her, it's like she's leading the way and like, hey, yeah, we're here to chill and blah blah blah, and he seems way out of his comfort zone all of a sudden. And I thought that was super awkward. I was like, why? He was like into this stuff, and now all of a sudden he's like a little puppy dog, like scared to. I don't know. It seemed really strange to me. But
they get to that second party, and Sarah and Jesse have like an eye fucking session.
Oh yeah, they do.
And like everybody was like eye fucking at that point.
Yeah,
they were all just orgies everywhere with their eyes. Anyways, she was like, "Oh, it's ecstasy," and he's like, no.
Yeah.
We're not doing drugs.
Yeah.
And I was like,
it's like you were literally just doing something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. It was just funny. Like, all of a sudden he got super protective and weird about it. Like,
right? And what's kind of funny is apparently Goa, like the state that this is in, India, the Goan government objected to this movie because it showed like a dark side, like a bad light to the state. Right. Like there are raves and people doing drugs everywhere, and they're like, "That's not us, guys."
Yeah.
Aww.
So it was kind of funny. Like, but it's a fictional movie. I wouldn't go there and be like, "So where are the raves?"
Yeah.
Bring me the drugs.
Also, people are gonna do drugs wherever they want.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you're not gonna stop that.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about his classic look in the first music video flashback situation where he has a backpack and then a backpack.
Yeah.
You got the backpack on the
The
back.
double pack?
Yeah, and the backpack on the front. And I'm like, that's a good look. That's like when you wear like a sweater tied around your waist. Like,
oh, that look needs to come back.
Like you're ready for an adventure when you're dressing like that.
Tim, did you do that when we went to Europe?
What?
With your 2-packs? Did you wear one on the front, one on the back?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I just
He's
know you're
like,
I would have been
on me. I
super
did not
sweaty
do
and
that.
hot if I did that.
That's true.
Even though it was cold the whole time.
Yeah. You still would have found a way.
Yeah.
Sweat finds a way. Then, so I really want to comment on this. We've been talking about all of the music.
Mm-hmm.
And Tim, you brought up like Bollywood films seem like you're watching a music video.
Yeah.
Sam asked me, are we watching a music video?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like they show like the credits and everything, and I'm like,
That was weird.
hold up, like.
But the credits weren't in all of the montages, just the
couple,
first 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And I was like, the fuck? And it was like, Malang, 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 Malang.
Yeah, the music was catchy. I liked it.
Yeah,
It was.
There is some parts of it that I actually really enjoy the music that they put in the movies, and I don't know how often that is like outside of the movies, if that's what is listened to a lot or whatever, but my limited scope of their culture, I guess. But I do enjoy the music a lot, like as for what it is. It's very catchy and I enjoy it.
Yeah, I've asked some people at work for some Indian music before.
Yeah.
Because like obviously Tanak Tun it's a classic by Deller Mundi.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, yeah.
And then Zing Zing Zagai, that's another one.
Yeah, I knew that one for sure.
I ask people about musics of other people's, like other places, just because I'm curious, and I seem to enjoy them. So why not?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Also, in that first like flashback when they're showing her, she just gives some dude like a phone and a laptop.
Does she?
Yeah, she gives some random dude, like a blind dude. I'm assuming he's homeless. Like he was asking for change and stuff, and she puts a laptop, an Apple laptop, and an Apple phone down.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, was that? Did she just?
She gives it to him, and he like picks it up and starts feeling it. And I'm like, what? I don't understand.
I don't remember this scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but that sounds ridiculous, and like it would be in that first part.
Yeah, I was like, I don't
She said she was super disconnected or trying to be.
Yeah.
So later on, that kind of makes sense. Because like thinking about it, I was like, well, maybe she just like got it and then she gives it up. Like she does the same thing all the time. Like she has it for a limited time and then she gives it up to somebody randomly.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was super strange in the very beginning. She just fucking gives this homeless dude a laptop and a phone, and I'm like, all right, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess he needs that.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I guess I don't know if this is before or after they jump into the ocean and swim, and then we wake up the next morning, and I'm like, how did you guys get a tent?
Yeah. I assumed it was in his backpack.
That could very well
That's
be
a good
it.
idea. Yeah.
Because it
It's
was
very-
small.
Yeah.
That's true. I was just like, where'd you get the tent, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had some beef with, like, I guess it was the second festival, where after her and Jesse I fuck, she's like, oh, are you guys, like, a thing? And they're like, oh, we don't know yet. And it's basically like, oh, here you go, we'll do some drugs, and then you'll figure out if you're a thing.
And then stay
Like,
together. Stay
Yeah.
together forever. It's like, wait.
Yeah.
A temporary or
What just
permanent?
happened?
Yeah, exactly. It was so confusing. And then the other thing was, like, when they slept on the beach, this kind of goes back to, like, my previous swept away beef. Like, they just, like, run into the ocean and, like, she's in her dress. And then the next morning she wakes up and her hair is perfect and her dress is dry. And I'm
Her
like,
hair was perfect always.
did you sleep in the wet
That's just
dress?
Bollywood,
Like, did
dude.
you sleep? Like,
How
that
did
work?
you sleep,
That's-
ma'am?
She did not have a backpack.
I think that's also part of something I've noticed in Bollywood films, or I've heard of, is I mean, Hollywood does the same thing, where like
Yeah.
they always look perfect, but I don't know why I say it like that, but like everybody always looks like perfect, but like again, Bollywood goes a little over the top, and they look beyond perfect usually, and like with the wind blowing in their hair and stuff like that, it's always just like. Everything has, like, the lights got to be right and all this stuff, and like no matter what did, they're perfectly fine. Like just like in the fight scene or whatever, like later, this dude does not bleed for almost the entire movie.
Yeah.
And he's going through all this crap, and then finally he gets a little cut on his head.
Yeah.
And I'm
Good.
so like
Like,
that kind of
that's
stuff.
it.
Superhuman.
I don't know, ridiculous, but yeah, it's everywhere in Bollywood that I know of.
You know what's ridiculous?
Hmm.
That she wanted to. One of her fears is drinking a cheap beer.
Yeah.
And I was like, you just did ecstasy the night before, and now you're like, I want to drink a cheap beer.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Where does she get money from?
I don't know.
Mommy and dad. She said that her parents basically like did everything and like left her money.
Oh,
I felt like that's what it implied. That's what I imply. Like,
Huh.
what's the
I
opposite?
don't remember that.
I got from that. She kept talking about, oh yeah, my mom and dad worked forever and like they didn't do anything, so I'm gonna go live.
Oh,
yeah,
I do kinda
I guess I
remember
just assumed that like she just
Trust
didn't
fund
want to
baby?
be like her parents. No, I didn't. I just figured she just like, I don't know.
Well, later she says they did that for me
Oh, okay.
when she's
then,
preggers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I took it.
I also want to talk about her bucket list bracelet knot situation.
What? Yeah.
And like one of the other scenes where they go windsurfing, and it's like, okay, so basically at this point we're crossing off items on the bucket list together. Yay!
Mm-hmm.
But we're super good at windsurfing, which is something we've presumably never done since it's on the bucket list.
Right.
So I was very confused by that.
I feel like I would fall off very quickly.
Yeah, like we should have at least seen them fall off like one time.
Yeah, at
you know?
least. Yeah.
Also, skydiving, it might be different in India. I don't know the rules, but at least in the States, don't you have to jump with somebody?
Yeah, I
Like
think
attached
so.
to your back?
You have to do
Yeah.
tandem, yeah.
So I was like, But again, India could be different on that.
Well, it wouldn't make as good of a romantic scene if they didn't get to
If they had
skydive.
to, they had a
like-
couple guys strapped to their back.
They had some extra wheels.
Right. I don't think they would have cared, though.
Probably
for some
not.
reason, their personalities, they probably wouldn't have cared.
Nah, they were vagrants.
God.
Vagrant.
Vagrant. I was like, okay.
So I didn't realize that Malang meant vagrant
Oh,
until after
really?
the movie.
I didn't know that.
Like, I only figured that out because they were singing Malang, 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 Malang. And it kept saying
Oh, it was
vagrant. I was like,
vagrant. Yeah, you're right.
oh. Because Sam and I were discussing it, like, afterwards, we're like, whose name was Malang?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny.
Because Unleash the madness. Okay, does like Malang mean something? Yeah, yes, it does. It does mean something.
I have another quote that I thought
Okay.
was great. And it's not so much that the quote is great, it's like how they decided to say it. So like, you know,
I wonder if it's a translation issue.
it could be. But you know how like there's that classic quote of like, when you do revenge, like dig 2 graves. So like I think Michael says this to Agashi, and he's like, revenge always ends in 2 graves, one of which is your own. And I'm like, you didn't need to over explain it.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
it's a
I was
classic
wondering-
quote for a
it
reason.
is.
Like,
Yeah,
we don't need that extra
it's
situation.
like taking it and trying to make it their own words or something. It's
Yeah.
like, you don't need to do that. Everybody understands exactly.
I
the
wonder if
reference
that's a
you're-
translation thing then.
Yeah, it could be, but I
It
just
could
thought
be.
that was funny because I was like, we don't need that.
What's even
extra.
better was his response.
What was his response?
Dig a 5. I'm 5'11" or something.
Oh, nice. He's excited.
Yeah, he told it. He
don't
said
remember that.
he told him his. Yeah, his response was like, "Oh, I'm 5'11", like, and then he just like laughed and walked away because
His crazy laugh.
that's who Agashi is.
Yeah,
Agashi. Agashi. Then we're back. Are we back into present day, where every single cop, except for like the main characters, have these like epic mustaches?
Oh, I didn't notice
Oh,
that.
their stash game was on point.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that, Tim.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I was like, that's awesome. Especially
I know,
the
like,
ones that
these-
go
they had-
down below the lips, like the little.
Oh
bit
yeah, they
that
had like
peek down a little bit.
the who was it? Tom Selleck?
Yeah, with the big beak.
Yeah, they had those type of
Oh
mustaches.
yeah, he's always
Nice.
referenced with that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, except there's one. I saw a picture without it once. Ew.
It was frightening.
You need to see him. He's a mustache man.
I kind of.
But I want to go back to Gashi where he's intimidating, bullying, whatever you want to say. He's like talking to like just this guy that's like, I'm a student.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then he's like, you gotta speak Hindi, speak Hindi.
Mm-hmm.
And then at one point he's like, oh, he speaks Marathi.
Mm-hmm.
Which India has 22 official languages.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there are about 80 more on top of that. Konkani is the official language of Goa,
Okay.
followed by Marathi, and then Hindu.
Oh.
So it was kind of funny to me that, like, Goa, like, where they are in Goa, Hindi isn't even the top, it's the
Right,
third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so it was kind of funny to me. And then English and Portuguese are the fourth and fifth.
Oh, nice.
So,
Interesting.
Goa facts.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've definitely talked about that kind of stuff before with the languages.
Yeah.
And it's just
'Cause-
very interesting to me because especially in the like not especially but also in this movie like they'll talk English sometimes and then they'll switch
Yep.
back to their language and then even I thought it was funny though sometimes she was speaking in English and they were still subtitling her whereas the guy
Yeah.
would speak in English and it
Yeah.
wasn't subtitled.
I
was
noticed that.
like,
I
hold
kept
up.
getting thrown off because I was like, I'd be reading and then I'd be like, wait, I don't have to read this.
Right.
Yeah. Same.
But we're finally back with a Dwight, and he's murdering more people.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the Christmas parade.
Okay.
Again, thrown off because I didn't know that Christmas was normal there.
Mhm.
Right,
The
yeah.
Santa parade
Yeah.
or whatever.
Dude, that Santa parade, those masks were creepy.
They were so creepy.
So creepy.
I liked
They
them.
weren't normal Santa
You liked them,
masks.
Tim?
Yeah.
All right, we know what Tim's getting for Christmas.
Well,
That and a Dwight's, in air quotes here, hoodie.
that's what I was just gonna say. Like, I like that they kept saying it was a red hoodie. Like, technically, yes, there was a hood, but it was a red leather jacket with a hood. Like, it wasn't a hoodie, but
I would say that might have been a translation thing.
maybe.
Probably.
Maybe. I want to believe it is.
I liked the red leather jacket though.
Oh, it was a
Hood or
nice
no
looking
hood. I was like,
jacket.
this is a good look.
Yeah.
I
It
want one.
is. Well, Sam, which haircut did you like better? The slick back or his curly mess?
I don't know because like they seem like they're two different characters.
They
right?
do.
Like,
I think
which
it-
I think was the
yeah.
point. But like he seemed just like such a young little tyke with his like his fluffy. You know?
I know.
And then
Carefree.
yeah, and then it's like I shaved my hair into this intense, trendy haircut, and now I'm a badass.
Where he became a superhuman.
Yeah.
Dude was ripped the whole time, though. Please, let's,
Yeah, that's
let's
true.
note that. Also, guys going to all these raves, I didn't see him hit up the gym once.
True. Where
I want to
ow.
be able to do that.
Well,
Well-
I mean, it's not like you're gonna lose it over like a trip or something.
I know. I took it like they were together for like 3 years, though.
Yeah, I kind of did too.
I thought
How
it was
long
more
were
of
they,
like
I
a
guess?
year span is what it felt like to me. Maybe not even that long.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like we're not gonna see every aspect. Like, did you see him go to the bathroom ever?
Yeah.
Did Woody? I don't remember it.
No, I'm just kidding.
I was
I
gonna
just
say.
wanted to.
And it's like, I mean, you didn't see him really eat either. So it's like
I
you
know.
don't, you
True,
don't see
true.
every aspect, especially in a movie like this. It's like they
I
want to
know.
spend 45 minutes in a action love romance movie
Thriller.
without action, basically, and you sit there and you just stare at each other. So they didn't have time to show us anything
There's
else.
no time.
But
Yeah.
That's why they montaged it when he was in the jail.
Like-
But we saw Michael go to the gym.
Yeah. We
yeah,
did
but
see
the
Michael
scene
go to
had
the gym.
technically-
significance to his
But he
personality.
wasn't a man.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, technically
not a
speaking,
man.
it was more like we weren't necessarily there to watch him go to the gym. We were there to find out about his character.
His fucking
manhood.
insecurities.
Yes.
In his limpness.
I'm not a
But-
man.
She knows. She knew within seconds.
God, what a
What?
fucked up dude.
Right?
Oh,
But I'm going to go back to young Love here.
Young Love, okay.
And when she's in the bikini coming out, I'm like, am I watching like a 1960s James Bond film? Because like, isn't that what they did in all of them? Like, she would always like come out in a bikini, be like, "Oh, hello,"
I mean, there was always a Bond girl doing something
Yeah.
of some sort. So
like
yeah,
that.
like,
That's just how I felt. Like that slow motion scene felt.
yeah, and because like the ocean was like perfect with the lights and all that, just like Tim was saying, like all of the perfect lighting.
Actress hated that scene.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why, but she did hate it. But back to the hair. I really wanted to bring this up. His hair. I gotta say, I liked the long hair better. He rocked that headband life.
That's why, because you rock the head.
No,
I rocked the headband life.
I liked his haircut that was supposed to make him look badass. I think it made him look more mature and whatnot and stuff. Like his hair was okay before, but I liked his hair, the second style, more. It fit his face better.
We're gonna go to a Bollywood film festival. Tim, you do Badass of Dwight. I'll do Carefree of Dwight.
There you go.
Oh God.
We'll even get he posted online somewhere. The actor did. He posted his workout.
Yeah,
It's just 2 hours of cardio a day.
that's too much. There's no reason for that.
Oh,
I'm just gonna say
I
that now.
know.
Like I get it. I get it. If that works for you, whatever. That's too much. You don't need
That's too much for me. That's like
for the results. I mean, sure, if you're getting paid to work out, I would work out all day. Probably
right.
hours
I think
on
I
end.
would.
But
Yeah.
I know I would because I have the time to. But
I don't know if I would.
you don't
but
need to spend 2 hours on cardio. Hopefully, he's doing something else too. For his physique, you didn't need to do that at all.
That was just the first thing I read about his story.
That was the first part he lost you.
He lost me at that. I was like, 10 minutes in, I'd be like, oh my God. When was the last time I ran? I don't run.
I hate running too. Yeah.
I have like a nice little jaunt.
I was gonna say, where are you
Trot.
going with
I
this?
don't know. I'm a horse
Power
now.
walk.
I'm trotting.
Yeah.
I can power walk with the best of them. They trained
I'm
me
sure you
when
can.
I worked. When we all worked at Kings
Oh,
Island,
yeah.
we were trained
100%.
power
That's
walkers.
Yeah,
true.
not allowed to run, but you could walk fast.
You can walk as fast as some people run,
Oh,
but
dude, it
it's
was
fine.
silly how fast we
Your
like,
knees are locked.
Well, we never really lost our power walking skills because of Disney. We
Oh,
still had
this
to
is
keep
true.
those in
Yeah.
check. So.
Well, I notice
you
I
know.
still do it every once in a while. I've slowed down a lot, but I definitely like. I mean, I got longer legs too, so I just fucking cruise.
Yeah. Oh, it's hilarious. When I walk next to Sam, I will like take steps, and it's like legitimately 1.5 at least, like steps of my steps for her steps. So it's hilarious. She's so, like, if I
Yeah.
do her pace of walking, I'm like halfway down the
I
hallway.
know he did it in the hallway once, and I was like, I'm never gonna catch up.
I'm like, I'm just doing your speed. The speed in which your legs move is how fast I was going, and it looks like I'm just like. Zip.
Craziness.
My.
Well, I don't really have a segue from power walking.
I don't either, but I'm just gonna say life means choices.
You liked that quote?
I did. I don't know why.
Life.
Because
means
every time they said it,
choices.
they did something like, ooh, look how great this is on our bucket list.
I know. Life means choices.
No, I guess it's a good one. it felt cheesy at parts. But go
I
ahead.
didn't like it. No, I don't know. It's a weird set of words that don't make sense to me. But
I wonder if that's like a translation thing again.
it could be. But I just think it's weird. Life means choices. But are you trying to say that the choices you make improve your life, or are you trying to say you need to make choices
You
in
have
life?
a life.
Or do you have a life because you made choices? Or I really don't understand it. I don't know. Depends on the actual meaning, I guess, where I'm at with it. But yeah, I will say that I got tired of like going from action to romance. Like the romance seemed to get longer and longer, and
it was like
less and less
15
action.
minutes?
And I was like, you're kind of losing the mix of the movie there. You're kind of losing the feel. Like
Yeah.
at first
Right.
it seemed all right. Like he'd go and do something, and then like there'd be like a little snippet of like why he did it, or like a little bit of them, and you're like, all right, cool, we're motivated with you. And then it'd go back to him doing something, and then it would be longer, and you're like, I get it, I'm motivated. Go back to the action. No, go back to the action. Okay, the scene's ending, but no, okay, you're still not at the action. Go back to, and then I don't know. I just felt
Tim
like
wanted
that.
the whole action movie.
Yeah.
He didn't need any of that
Necessarily.
romance.
It's just like I actually liked how they did it, how they filmed it stuff. It just I think it broke me a little bit when they just kept going through the romance. I'm like, all right, I get it. Like,
I get it. She's gonna die.
Yeah.
Well, I think we could have probably established their like romance bucket list thing in less scenes.
I
'Cause
think
it
you could have
took-
cut 15 minutes of them out.
I think they
Yeah.
took like 2 to 3 scenes to just like get them doing stuff together, like having fun. Like you could have mashed that down into like one, probably.
Yeah.
Right.
And then gotten into the other parts of their life together.
Yeah.
Like saving Jesse.
Yeah.
Oh
That
yeah.
was-
Yeah.
Surprising. I actually, I saw what was happening, and I saw she had like the EpiPen, and I was like, oh, I didn't know it worked like that.
Yeah.
For all
They
we know,
also
it
just
doesn't.
randomly always had some sort of miracle EpiPen too.
Yeah.
Like where did they pull these out of?
There were only 2 cases, right?
There's 3, wasn't
Yeah.
there?
I only thought there were 2. When Jesse had it for herself, and then when she saved Sarah.
Yeah.
There was one other I thought.
There might have been.
There might have been. I only remember the 2.
Didn't they use it on him at some point too?
Unless the cops did it, no.
I thought there was another time it was used, because he used one, right? Like
He used
pulled-
one on Jesse.
He used one on Jesse, and then Jesse used one on what's her face?
Sarah.
Sarah. And then I thought at one point one was used on him. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. I just thought it was silly. They just would pull these weird miracle drug pens out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I agree that it was a miracle drug.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was like, when they first showed it, like, oh, they're just saving Jesse. Like, they're just establishing we're friends, we're family.
Yeah. I mean,
And then you see like all of like the whole twist of it coming through with Jesse being like, oh shit, I gotta get down there
yeah.
and saving her. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
was
go
like,
ahead
that's
and
a nice-
say I thought it was lame that she lived.
I was honestly surprised.
Yeah.
I was
I had-
too, and I don't know if that's why I'm upset about it. I get the motivation was like the baby was gone, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely thought it was going to be like he lost the girl too. And it was a good twist. I think it was well done. And I liked how she was like behind the scenes and she was the one stabbing him, and then like it goes back and forth like, oh, she got thrown off the bridge so they threw the guy off the roof. Like I thought all that was
I liked
great.
that.
I don't know. Part of my motivation was lost a little bit when she was still alive, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
and I kind of feel like I will say like I liked it, but I don't necessarily know that it was necessary, right? Especially when it's coming on the coattails of the big Michael twist.
Yeah.
Like it just kind of felt like an afterthought, so I feel
Right.
like maybe one of them would have worked.
Would you have preferred if like Agashi had gone over and killed Michael instead of her?
I don't know.
Because like that would be the only that's the only way I can see it like cinematically working is Michael's death coming out of Gashi. Because
Yeah.
like he did the whole gun scene at the beginning where he's like, oh, you knew it wasn't loaded.
Yeah, you knew it wasn't loaded, right?
Uh-huh.
Totally.
And then like he's a guy that kills murderers, and if he finds out that Michael's a murderer, then he kills him, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
But this creates character development when he lets Michael just die.
Yeah, I don't know. I
'Cause
guess
he
I just
forgave.
like I was there for her being behind the scenes just because it was another thing that I didn't expect. But yeah,
I was
like I don't know that it
surprised, yeah.
was needed.
Right.
I don't know if it was needed either, but I was just trying to think. I was just trying to theory craft the only other way that I can get to the ending.
Yeah.
Right.
Without a Dwight murdering Michael, which I wouldn't have minded if he did that.
I know. That's what I was
Because Michael's a
waiting
psychopath.
for.
Yeah.
Well, and I kind of liked that he was like, the night's not over. Like, I don't know. I was expecting him to be like, beast mode, unleash the madness, and somehow kill Michael from the bridge.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Like he just roars and like a lion spirit like
something
murders him. Yeah.
ridiculous. See,
Where
we
were
would have
we?
would have made a worse movie. Tim would have been like, no.
You guys are ridiculous, and we've been like Bollywood, man.
Yeah, Bollywood, man. From 20 years ago, maybe, but
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
want to say that this was all his fault. Okay, he got her pregnant, and then he runs away basically because she's pregnant. And none of their bad times would have happened if he would have just like stayed with her in the hotel room and been like, "Yep, I'm gonna take, accountability for my actions."
right.
Or you could say it's Michael's mom who took away his manhood.
Well, technically, yeah, but I mean,
That
like,
guy's
they
a
wouldn't have
bitch.
necessarily even
He's not a man.
ended up in this situation because
Yeah, I
they could have
know.
went
Yeah.
somewhere else.
I know they might have still been at the hostel together with all the other vagrants.
They could have skipped the one where Agashi's daughter gets killed. That was horrible.
That was pretty depressing because like
Yeah.
you see him before he's
I know.
like a killer, right? He's like, oh yeah, like you should have broken his legs at least. Oh shit, same guy, and then his daughter gets killed, and then he's just like drinking, doing coke, and smashing people's heads in with doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what normal people do.
That
Yeah.
was like heartbreaking. That whole
That's how you grieve.
character art was hard.
Tim, did you like Michael's interpretation of Tyler Durden? Well, not necessarily. The narrator of Fight Clubbing himself in the room with his wife, where he like
Yeah.
smashes the bottle on his head. I'm like, he's straight up Fight Clubbing.
He's a little bitch.
Tim really dislikes
I really
Michael.
dislike him. If there's a person that acts like that, they're just a little bitch. I don't know. Like,
Well, they're not a man.
I love that. Like in India, like it's known that they slap, right? Like they slap a lot. Like,
Is
instead
that-
of like
is that a
punching.
thing?
Yeah, it's a thing. From what I understand, like the slapping is actually a thing instead of like punching people. It's like, but slapping is like super
I noticed so
disrespectful.
many slaps.
Oh, yeah, and it's like, I mean, from what I understand, it's a big thing. But I would have been like, dude, I'm gonna slap you with a closed fist. Like this guy's a little bitch. I wanted to beat the shit out of him the whole time, but I don't know. That's how I felt about him. So
That's fair.
Well, would you say the actor did a really good job then?
yeah.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
A lot of people online were like, yeah, he really helped carry the film. And I was like, yeah, but he was a little bitch.
Yeah, and then he like beat up on people for like no reason because of his own issues and stuff. And like, what really got me is like he was leaving out of Jesse's apartment, and then Sarah says something to him, and that sets him off. That like triggers him. And I'm like,
Yeah.
really, dude? Really? I'm like,
You really
I don't
are
know.
a
That just
man.
like pissed me off. Yeah, it's like it seriously just shows that you're like a big old pussy. I don't know. I can't help. I
trying
can't
to
get
find a
over
nice
it.
way
It
to
pisses
say
me
it.
off. I'm like,
Oh,
seriously, so many issues with this guy, but there are people like that in the world, I guess.
I suppose so.
Big
I
old
don't know.
tangent. Big old tangent.
I was going to say, like, one of my last notes that I have is I like how we watched two hippies turned into, like, killers.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
In 5 years, they just complete opposite people. I guess that's what happens when you're, thrown off a bridge with an overdose.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And like wrongfully prisoned, and
Mhm.
that'll make you kind of turn into a
Yeah, I
crazy
mean,
person,
it's just a bit.
Might want some revenge, yeah.
for sure.
Or justice or something.
Tim, you got any more notes, Sam?
Yeah. Also, Michael, like, so they were in the car at one point in the
He
beginning.
really hates Michael.
Well, no, I just read my note on this. I guess they were getting married in like a week or whatever, and
Yes.
he's just now telling her that he wants to wait to.
Wait to have
But, like,
their first time.
How long have they been together if they're getting married in a week that he's just now telling her that, and that's the first time they've tried?
Right,
That
well,
confuses
and-
me.
Yeah, and she said like, okay, well that's your last excuse. Like we're getting married. There better not be very many more excuses. So I kind of got the vibe that like
Oh, I see what you're saying.
they had been like it
She
had
had
at
been trying
least
to do
been
it
brought
constantly.
up.
Yeah.
And he had some sort of excuse.
Yeah.
Although, to be honest, like if you're gonna make an excuse, wouldn't that have been your first excuse?
Right.
Because then you wouldn't have had to make any more.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
He
That's
did
what
it
I'm saying.
backwards.
Like, I'm waiting till we're married. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's should be the first and only one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like he was very Catholic.
Yeah.
Was he? I thought
Yeah.
she was.
They both were.
Okay.
He was raised Portuguese Catholic.
Okay. For some reason, I thought she was. Just her family was.
Yeah, it's hinted with the whole happy solstice.
Yeah.
And like his last name is Rodriguez. So he's actually of Portuguese descent.
I see.
Is that your last note, Tim?
Yep, I think so.
All right, I'll get into the cast. And I'm going to butcher all of these names.
Probably.
How dare you?
Dwight is played by, oh God, this is starting off poor. Aditya Roy Kapoor.
That sounds right.
Yeah, close enough.
It's
He was
wrong.
probably. He's in Ludo Sadak 2 and Dear Zindagi.
Okay.
Sarah is played by Disha Patani. She's in Kung Fu Yoga.
Ooh.
I need to see that one.
Yeah.
And then MS Donnie, The Untold Story, and Boggy 2 and Boggy 3.
What about Boggy 1?
She was not in that one.
Okay.
Jessie is played by Ellie Avram, which they talked about this in the movie about how like oh, your Hindi's sexy. She said that to Sarah said that to Jessie,
Okay.
and you find out that Jessie is from Sweden.
Swedish, yeah.
The actress is Swedish.
Okay.
I liked that, but she's in Inside Edge, Houseful 3, and Nam Shabana. I don't know. And Tim's favorite character, Michael, is played by Kunal Camus. I'm not good at reading my own handwriting, guys. And he's in Loot Case, Abai, and Kalank.
I just want to say one more time how I'm really upset that they jerked me around with Michael and how he was like so pitiful at the beginning and by
Yeah.
the end you hate his guts. So
Yeah.
testament to him.
Yeah, that was
I
good.
guess.
Yeah.
And then Agashe is played by Anil Kapoor. Now, people will be like, oh, I swear I've seen him before. Because he was in 15 episodes of 24.
Oh, okay.
He was in Slumdog Millionaire.
Okay.
In Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
Look at him.
Huh.
So, like, he's actually in Hollywood films, too.
I need to watch those to see if he does the same crazy laugh. That's like
Probably.
his trademark, you know?
I would love for it to be the same.
I agree.
The director is Mohit Suri. And, like, he's apparently, like, a big deal or something. I don't know. I was reading Reddit.
Yeah.
And you know how well that goes,
He's a big
right?
deal on Reddit.
People, there were a lot of disagreements on who carried the film. Some people were like, oh, the guy who played Agashi, he's the one who carried it. And then people were like, Dwight, him and Sarah, like, they were a perfect couple together. And they're like, no, she did garbage. Jessie's the one who should have been the main actress. And then some people were like, I don't care what you guys say. Michael was the best acting, was the best at acting. And
I
I'm
mean,
like,
true. It seemed like it, yeah.
I was like, wow, drama in Bollywood. But Mohit Suri, he did, all right, Ashiki 2. Don't know what happened to the first one. The Villain, Murder 2. Don't know what happened to the first one. And Half Girlfriend.
Half girlfriend.
Half Girlfriend. That one apparently is his first take out of romance.
Okay.
And this movie apparently combines all of his other movie genres into one.
Oh.
So, two.
So like so he's done he did a romance movie, he's done thrillers, he's done action. He's like, I'm gonna just combine them into one script.
Let's just put them all together, guys.
Yeah.
Which kind of is why I felt like there was two different movies
yeah,
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just want you guys to know now that Mohit Suri has already stated that a sequel is going to be produced.
Please no.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, and I also read on Letterboxd, people were talking about this movie, and they said that Mohit Suri, apparently this is the second time he's chucked a pregnant woman off a bridge, and they're like, I hope that this doesn't become, like, his trademark thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn. Like, that was, like, all the reviews said. I was like, okay, like...
That's like a very, one thing to notice
It's
about
oddly
somebody's film.
specific, yeah.
Yeah, suspiciously specific.
I know, right? Like... Makes me question his personal life. I'm just kidding. Yeah. He's probably fine.
But I will get into the ratings now.
Okay.
The critics gave it a 44%.
Okay.
And there were 9 ratings.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, not many. I want you guys to know that these are all over the board.
Okay.
Audience gave it an 80%.
Dang.
They were like 50 some.
Okay.
IMDb has a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
We're not getting anywhere like near average here. And then Google with a 91%.
Google.
Why? It's like you got in the 40s, the 60s, the 80s, and the 90s. Because that's
cover them all.
Well, we didn't get the 50s or the 70s. For shame, people.
Those aren't needed.
Those are not needed. But we can come to our conclusive discussion about whether or not we're going to flip on Malang. Mm-hmm. Unleash the madness. And Sam, we can start with you.
I mean, I'm sure you guys see this coming, but I'm definitely flipping this on because it's kind of set up like The Count of Monte Cristo, which is one of my favorite movies, where like by the time everything's all said and done, you're sitting there being like, what did I just watch? This is crazy. Like, you got all the revenge, you got the 2 twists, and the bad guy's not the bad guy, and the good guy's the bad guy, and like by the end you're just like, damn, I'm impressed. At least that's how I felt. And so yeah, I'm flipping it on.
Cool.
Tim?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I would flip it on. For a lot that you said, the twisting and whatnot was good, not expected. You ended up liking other people, hating other people, and opposites, whatever. And it's a more grounded Bollywood film. So that's why I say, like, if you're wanting to dip your toes into Bollywood movies, I don't know about if that's kind of how things are going nowadays. I've seen older ones, and they're always over the top, like super over the top.
It's like their thing.
It's like their thing, yeah. So I say, yeah, definitely flip it on for the Bollywood experience. And then if you just want to see slightly over the top movie and just kind of experience what their movies are like and decide if you want to watch, other Bollywood stuff. But for sure, it's a watcher.
And I would also agree. I'm going to turn it on as well because why not? It's insane. Mm-hmm. Like, I was going to text you, Tim, after we watched it. I was just going to say, that was wild. But I decided not to because I was like, that'll give a little too much info on my feelings.
I would have just texted back Bollywood, LOL.
Yeah, that's probably
literally
right.
what I would have said.
But yeah, I was excited going into it because I was like, I want to see Bollywood. I've been waiting out.
Yeah.
I'm 95% sure we came up with this category in thinking we gotta watch a Bollywood film.
Yeah.
Like, this will easily get us one, guys. Mm-hmm. And it did. And I was ecstatic.
And the music slaps.
Oh, the music is so good. I don't know. I love this music, and I don't know why.
It's good.
Catchy.
It's good. That's the only reason. It's good. That's why you like it.
Malang, 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 malang.
So, if you like catchy music, flip it on. If you like 3 different genres in one movie, flip it on.
3 odd genres mixed together. Well, I mean, action thriller is not odd.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say there's a thriller in there, though. I would say it's more of just action romance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I read thriller and I was like, okay. I was like, maybe mystery? You could say mystery?
Maybe twisty.
But if you say mystery, then you lose all effect of the twist.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
True.
In my opinion. Because, like, if you read somewhere, like, this movie has a great twist in it, ruins the twist for me.
You're guessing it the whole
I'm
time.
looking for the twist.
Yeah.
I like going in blind. And I'll be honest, the trailer made me very blind. Mm-hmm. Because it's weird. Like, it shows you the whole movie in out of order sequences, and you're like, I don't know what I just watched.
Right.
Because, like, the trailer straight up has Sarah in the red hood at the end, standing over Michael. Mm-hmm. But you don't realize that because it's up for maybe 1 second, and you don't know anything about the movie at the time. So
yeah, I didn't watch the
it's
trailer,
crazy,
so.
but I made Sam watch it afterwards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But flip it on if you want to see Bollywood. Flip it on if you like crazy dance sequences.
This is what was there dancing?
Sexy dancing.
There was a lot. Yeah, I guess there was.
There's a lot of like grinding on each other.
Romance grinding. Oh, we didn't even get to talk about the glow in the dark paint.
Oh,
scene.
I need to go to one of those. I just want to paint Sam's face.
So crazy. Technically, this is a Christmas movie, I feel like.
This is true. I would say that this is a Christmas movie.
So, like, if you're still in that holiday season vibe with New Year coming up. I think this is a nice way to segue out.
Especially if
not,
you want an action movie.
Yeah, because it's not
Christmas.
like fully about Christmas, but Christmas is a part of it.
Right.
It's a pretty big part of it, too.
Happy solstice or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But going into next week, we're going to spin the wheel.
Nice.
Sam's going to be up, so let's get this started. Maybe she'll get branching out and she can do like some samurai Japanese stuff. And she got back at it again.
Ooh.
Back at it again.
Just had
with
this one.
with the Converse.
Nice.
So
It's
that's-
funny because I just said a movie that I needed to watch, but I don't remember what it was. Why
Nice.
does this happen? This is
Me
what
all
happened to
Every
Tim.
time. So you got to write everything down.
Yeah.
But that being said, happy solstice.
Happy solstice.